the hedges and across the state. This is where the dogs play.
Man, is there going to be some property destroyed tonight.
I want us to go out and execute, do the things we got to do, play to our standard, and go play fast.
Dogs on top.
15-0. The Dogs have done it and won a second consecutive national title.
Despite 20 straight wins.
Love it in motion around the backside of Beck. Handed off to Edwards. Big hole! Touchdown straight ahead. Standing up.
The standard remains the same.
And he'll go down back at the 39-yard line. We brought the house. And we intercepted at the 39-yard line. And this will secure the victory.
Georgia, UAB.
We set the standard to where we want to be and what we want to do.
Time to tee it up. Live from Sanford Stadium, this is Georgia football. On the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network, welcome to play-by-play coverage of Georgia football. Bulldogs football is brought to you by Zaxby's, the official ice of the Georgia Bulldogs. Pruitt Health, family makes us stronger. Hoffman Financial Group, helping build your financial dynasty. Dos Equis, a proud sponsor of Georgia Athletics. Get a dose. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. And by Southeast Mortgage, the official home loan lender of the Georgia Bulldogs. Now to the Piedmont Healthcare broadcast booth. Alongside former All-American Eric Zeier, here's the voice of the Bulldogs, Scott Howard.
Welcome back to Dooley Field at Sanford Stadium for tonight's contest. Georgia and UAB, the undefeated and top-ranked Bulldogs, hosting the 1-2 Blazers from Birmingham, Alabama, in the fourth meeting between the two schools. Tim Jennings just called the Dogs a few moments ago, get the crowd juiced up. The former Bulldog doing a nice job as we have a packed house on hand once again tonight. Sellout number 68 consecutively here at Sanford Stadium. Let's tell you a little bit about tonight's matchup quickly. We've gone over the numbers for Georgia. The streaks are pretty impressive as a 3-0 Georgia, now 1-0 in the SEC, has won 20 straight games, 36 of the last 37. The Dogs have won 21 straight at home, 30 in a row in the regular season, and 19 straight against non-conference opponents. And that's what the matchup is tonight. Kirby Smart in his 8th year with his 100th game as a head coach tonight. He's 84-15 overall. He's 40-4 at home, 31-2 against non-conference opponents, a winning percentage of 94%, 1-0 all-time against UAB. As we said, meeting for the fourth time in the series. All of the games have been here in Athens. Georgia was a winner in the first matchup in 2003. In a tight one that year, 16-13, and then they've won the last two in blowout fashion, a 34-0 win in 06, and then 2 years ago it was 56-7. Georgia was a winner there as the Dogs would go on to win that national championship in that season. For UAB, they've got a new head coach and in a new conference. Trent Dilfer's their head man in his first season, his first collegiate coaching job at any level. The 14-year NFL veteran played for the Bucs, the Ravens, won the Super Bowl with the Ravens in his only season in Baltimore. Also played for the Seahawks, the Browns, and the 49ers. His previous 4 years were at Lipscomb Academy in Nashville as the head coach, where they won multiple state championships. They're 1-2 coming into this one. They've yet to play a conference game. They moved from the Conference USA to the American Athletic Conference, and they'll face Tulane in their conference opener next week. We'll step aside for just a moment. We'll come back with the coin toss and the kickoff. Georgia and UAB tonight on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Now out of the west end zone, through the smoke and behind the flags of the cheerleaders, they'll head to the near sideline. UAB set to come out as well out of the east end zone, and they'll stay on that far side of the field. Georgia's captains tonight: Brock Bowers, Malachi Starks, Chaz Chambliss, and Dejon Edwards. The coin toss is brought to you by Georgia's own credit union, banking on purpose. Let's go down to Shock on the field.
Just tell us what you'd like to do. Forward or defer? Defer to the second half. Which way do you want to kick?
All right, baby. Dog
Bulldogs get the ball first. UAB wins the toss. They defer to the second half. Message in the locker room was simple, fellas. Show everybody who we are. Similar to what he told us when we was going out in pregame. Show everybody in the country who we are, strain, and make sure when they turn on the tape, nobody wants to play the team in red.
All right, Shock, thanks very much. Dogs will get the ball. They did not win the toss, but they'll be on offense to start the ball game. David Smith is our referee tonight. Georgian red jerseys, silver breeches, red helmets, getting mentally prepared here as they wander on the sideline, finish up their last second prayers on the field. UAB out of the locker room as well across the way, doing pretty much the same thing on their side of the field. They're all in white tonight. White jerseys, a little bit of green trim, white pants, gold helmets with the UAB logo, the Blazer logo on the side of the helmet. It is time now to tee it up between the hedges. Opening kickoff powered by Georgia Power. It doesn't matter where in the Peach State you're cheering on the Dogs. Georgia Power is energizing your community. Visit georgiapower.com/community to learn more. They're getting ready for a light show here tonight.
Boy, indeed they are.
It would appear the lights haven't been on steadily for any length of time. They've just been flashing and rolling and changing colors, and this is what the fans want when they want a night game. The light show is part of it now. The video board, and now the great introduction of the Bulldogs here, as Georgia will be on offense to start tonight's contest, and we'll watch it all happen from the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth here at Sanford Stadium tonight. Bulldogs football brought to you this evening by your Atlanta area BMW centers, providing legendary performance, exceptional offers, and a premium ownership experience. At BMW, they only make one thing, the ultimate driving machine. Visit BMWATL.com today, proud sponsor of Georgia Athletics. The deep receivers for the Bulldogs as they'll be on offense to start the game. Mekhi Muse, the deepest man back, and Dylan Bell is the up back. Muse on the far hash. He'll retreat into the east end zone. Georgia will be bringing out of that end zone. Unless, of course, it's a touchback, and this will be Jonah DeLonga to kick it off, the freshman from Mobile, Alabama. UAB to kick it away from left to right. He's got it teed up on the 35-yard line on the far hash mark. Now their kick coverage unit breaks along the 30-yard line. And we are underway in Athens tonight. The kickoff going to come down short of the end zone, taken by Muse on the 2, at the numbers to the 10, to the 20. Hurdles over a man, kicks his legs in the air, and falls forward around the 25 or 26-yard line. Mekhi Muse almost cleared that pile of players in the hurdle, or else he would have kept running. They just caught a shoe, and he's down around the 25-yard line. And it was Joey Merritt that made the stop for UAB.
Boy, you're right. Just a shoelace away from the Dogs breaking this curse early on this year and not starting fast. Muse had a lot of room to run there if he could have avoided that initial tackler. But now, can the Dogs break through the psychological barrier that everybody's been talking about, stumbling out of the gates? Can we get started faster, and are we going to open up with Carson Beck by swoops on Lovett? Just never got his head turned around and ran in to Lovett, drawing the penalty marker.
Dylan Bell in the backfield, shifting behind Beck. Play fake to him, throw it to Arian Smith. He's got a block, and that's all he needed to get into the end zone as he cut inside the numbers and sprinted for home.
Boy,
touchdown, Georgia.
A great block on the outside as well that sparked the touchdown, and then a nifty little move by Smith to find pay dirt. How about that for starting fast? Was it Brock Bowers with the block? Brock Bowers, a great block. It was Brock on the outside, just a little bubble screen to the outside. Brock, great block, allowing Smith to get upfield. Not surprising that the All-American makes the key hit to get Smith into the end zone. He got around Ike Rao with a nifty move, and Arian sprinted 12 yards for the touchdown. Here's the point after try now by Peyton Woodring. The freshman from Lafayette, Louisiana, puts it right through the pipes. Extra point is good. Georgia with a 7-0 lead. Our first half is presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Injured, you know who to call. There's only one call, 1-800-CALL-KEN.
Dogs 7, UAB nothing. We'll come back for more Bulldogs football right after this on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Well played there by UAB.
Only about a yard-and-a-half gain. We're going to go for it. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Edwards in the backfield with Beck. Snap it back. Carson, pressure from the edge, throws, and behind his target, Ra Thomas at the 10. It's incomplete.
Again, UAB brought pressure. Carson Beck had what he wanted. Thomas was one-on-one. Just a poor throw that time from Carson. Really his first one of the night.
Defensive end came in untouched from the left side. Got right in Beck's face as he was releasing the football. It went behind the target. And the ball goes over on downs to UAB. They'll take over at their own 24-yard line or just inside it. 7-0 Georgia. 65 seconds to go in the first quarter.
But half the offensive line sitting there. I think the center got the snap count wrong. That's never good.
You're right about that. Well, it's good news for Georgia. They have punt formation on the field. They'll kick it away. A low, wobbly spiral caught by Muse on the 30. Makes the first wave miss. Rips through the second wave at the 35. Ball is loose. It comes out. It's bouncing. There's a pile on the 38-yard line. Red shirts, white shirts digging in that pile. The officials are trying to unstack them to see who has the football. They knocked it out of the hands of Mekhi Muse. UAB thinks they have it. And they do. Dogs turn it over on the punt. It got stripped. A 40-yard punt, a 9-yard return, and then the fumble in Georgia territory. UAB's got the ball and a big break at the Georgia 37-yard line. And only 1 second remaining in the first quarter.
Well, after a strong opening drive for the Dogs, you think maybe we're going to get out of our own way here early in football games. We got 1 snap left in the first quarter.
1st and 10 Blazers. They flip-flop the field. They're driving to the west now. They'll run it, and they flip-flop the back right down on the 22-yard line. Marvin Jones got in there, tripping up Isaiah Jacobs, the ball carrier, redshirt sophomore from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Actually, they're going to say lost a yard on the play, back to the 23. So 2nd down and 11 now at the Georgia 23 for UAB. Bring a man in motion to the near side. Throw it to that guy after a play fake. It's caught on the near sideline by Amari Thomas, a freshman receiver. He's batted around like a pinball there, hit by Kamari Lassiter first, and then Julio Humphrey whacked him a good one at the 16-yard line. They got 7 yards, however. 3rd down and about 5 to go for UAB on the Georgia 16. Run out of the pistol, play fake. Zeno throws it to the motion man, and he will get into the end zone. Touchdown on the near sideline. He caught it inside the 10 and weaved his way right to the pylon.
Well, a little run pass option there by UAB. Good read by Zeno. Able to get the football out of his hands very quickly. Had one of his guys coming in motion across the formation. Damus just on it, ran a little flat, able to give it to him, and Dogs out of position. UAB now about to tie it up.
Bryce Damus, the tight end, on a 16-yard touchdown reception. Here's the point after try by Matt Quinn, and the kick is up and good, and we are tied. Offensive touchdown for UAB, something they didn't have in the meeting 2 years ago. Their only score then was a 61-yard pick six by the safety Swoops. They're on the board with their offense tonight. They've tied it up with 14:09 to go in the second quarter. Georgia 7, UAB 7. We've got a timeout. Our first half is presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Injured in a wreck, there's only one. One call, that's all. 1-800-CALL-KEN. Back to Sanford Stadium in a moment on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Lone setback is Edwards. Stretch handoff to Dejan. He fights for yardage straight ahead into the end zone. Touchdown as he breaks the plane.
Boy, nice crease right there. Opened up behind Fairchild and Van Pran. Didn't get stood up that time. Dogs answer the bell.
4-yard touchdown run for Dejan Edwards. 118 yards, career high last week in the win over South Carolina. That's his 5th carry. He's got 29 yards already and a touchdown tonight to put Georgia ahead 13-7 with the point after to come. Peyton Woodring will try the extra point. The officials, I think, are waiting to hear down from the replay booth to make sure that Edwards got into the end zone. Now play will continue. Carson Beck will hold it. William Mote to snap. And the freshman to try to make it 14-7. snap back. Beck puts it on the turf. Woodring kicks it up and good. 14-7. Dogs lead it. And Georgia goes 72 yards and takes the lead against 14-7 Georgia with 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Dogs in front by a touchdown. Our first half presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Injured, you know who to call. There's only one call, 1-800-CALL-KEN. We're going to call up a timeout right now. Back for more Bulldogs football after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Two tight end formation again. Play fake Edwards. Beck to throw. Bounces on the logo. Lobs it to Bowers. Caught it around his hips at the 24. Broke away from a tackle. 15. Into the end zone. Touchdown! Brock Bowers.
Boy, the Napa Valley Beast, just unbelievable. Little wheel route on the outside. First touchdown catch this year. Just on a wheel route, then a nifty little move. Shakes off one blocker, another or one defender. Another one falls down. Pay dirt for the Dogs.
Z, when will the opposition learn you can't get him down on the first try?
I've really never seen anything like it.
It's amazing. 41 yards on the touchdown from Carson Beck to Brock Bowers. He just threw the man down. Eason, the linebacker, just got a face full of turf after Bowers disposed of him on this sideline. Here's the point after try. Peyton Woodring puts it up between the pipes. It's good, and Georgia extends the lead now. It's a 2-touchdown lead. Georgia 21, UAB 7. That Georgia touchdown brought to you by Engineered Solutions of Georgia, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. Nice drive by the Dogs. Excellent touchdown by Bowers, and a timeout in Athens. Our first half presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Injured, you know who to call. There's only one call, 1-800-CALL-KEN. Back in a moment. Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network that time as they start here late second quarter, trailing now by 2 touchdowns. Zeno to pass. Bass batted in the air and intercepted off the tip. The Dogs catch it off the tip. How many of those have we had this season? Tyke Smith with his 3rd interception of the year caught the tipped ball, and it's Georgia's possession at the UAB 25. Give it to the offense going the other way, and here comes that more you were talking about, Z.
Boy, no doubt about it. Tyke in the right spot. I couldn't tell who tipped the football. Was it Smile Munden that may have tipped the football? Came on linebacker pressure, able to get his hands up, tip it right into the waiting arms of Tyke Smith. See if the Dogs take a shot right now.
That's our 7th interception of the season. That leads the SEC, at least coming into today it did. Stopped him. It's goal to go at the 3 after the 10-yard gain. Give it to Edwards. Dances, waits for the hole to open. Drives left side. Touchdown as the helmet flies from a UAB player into the end zone. Edwards with his 2nd score tonight.
Boy, Dogs now just blowing this thing wide open. Quick start to the game. A little bit sluggish for the remainder of the first quarter, but just dominating this second quarter of play. Big blocks there by Fairchild and Van Pran, leading the way for Dejan.
3-yard touchdown run by Dejan Edwards, brought to you by Engineered Solutions of Georgia, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. We were just down here seconds ago. Feels good to be back down here and the same result again. It's 27-7 with the point after coming. Again, the officials are waiting for the okay from the replay booth that it was indeed a touchdown. And this crew, headed by David Smith, the referee, says we're good to go. Peyton Woodring to try the point after for the Bulldogs. Moat to snap it, Beck to hold it, Woodring to kick it, and it's good. Perfect execution. Dogs 28, UAB 7. And points after the turnover. Clock stops with the incomplete pass with 13 seconds to go. Blazers on the Georgia 2. It's loud in the west end zone. One back in the backfield. They snap it back to Zeno. In the pocket, throws it in the end zone. They reach and grab and score. Touchdown Thomas. Reached up about midway through the end zone on a quick slant.
Well-designed football play right there. A little rub and a slant underneath that rub to create just enough separation for Zeno to find it.
Well, that wasn't in the plans back there after that first down stop on this possession. because after we called the timeout, they just roared right down the field. 70-yard drive in 9 plays, 1 minute and 12 it took. Point after try by the Blazers is low, but good. 8 seconds remain in the half. Georgia 28, UAB 14. That's our new score. He'll kick it to our left. A low spinning kick. Caught off the turf at the 12. We'll return it 20, 25, 30. That's Dylan Bell. He fumbled the football after he hit the ground. Flag flies in. UAB says they've got the football. I think he was on the turf. And we'll see what the flag is, and there's 2 seconds to go in the half. There's a lot going on at the end of that play, and we'll let referee David Smith sort it all out.
I do think it was a fumble.
They've spotted the ball at the 42. UAB's kind of celebrating that they do have the football.
The play was a fumble recovered by the kicking team. During the return, holding number 17 on the receiving team. That penalty is declined. Be first down, UAB.
So they have 2 seconds remaining, and they have the ball back at the Georgia 42.5. That's 2 turnovers now by our special teams on returns. One by Mekhi Muse, and now that one by Dylan Bell. That's concerning.
Yeah, not the way, great second quarter. That's been uglied up a little bit here in the last couple of minutes. Last minute and 20 seconds. As Cash fell to the ground, the football was over the pylon.
Extra lineman Chad Lindbergh in the game. We're just going to keep it and dive over. Somebody had the ball and dove over. Was that Beck? It's a touchdown. Georgia just dives over the top of the pile. It happened so fast, I didn't even see who had it.
Boy, Beck got a push from somebody that catapulted him into the end zone. It may have been, I think it was Oscar Delp that grabbed him and just shoved him over the goal line.
He was launched, see. He just went flying. Touchdown nonetheless for the Dogs on the inside the 1 as Georgia clears the hurdle and breaks the goal line there to go up 34-17. Here comes the point after try by Peyton Woodring. Kicking it into the west end zone. Woodring takes a look at the uprights. Beck to hold it. Plants it down. The kick is up and into the net. Good. 7 more for the Dogs. It's 35-14. Georgia is your leader here in the third quarter. Our second half is brought to you by First Franklin Financial. Go see the friendly Franklin folks at one of their convenient Georgia locations and come back. We've got more Georgia football for you straight ahead. Dogs 35, UAB 14 on the Bulldogs Sports Network. A walk-on running back, a senior from Dawsonville, Georgia, is in the backfield. 3rd down and 9 for the Dogs from just outside the UAB 10. Moving to our left. They're going to move everything to the right, throw it back to the left to Bowers. Bowers has space. 10, 5, cuts inside. Touchdown, Brock Bowers.
Boy, a little throwback screen. Got a big offensive lineman out in front of Brock Bowers. It was Ernest Green that got that moved from his tackle position. Well-designed football play. Nobody close to the vicinity of where Brock was, and another touchdown for 19.
His second of the night, 10 yards on that one. Over 100 yards in receiving on his 9th catch of the night. That's his 8th career 100-yard reception game, as he has moved over 2,000 yards in his career receiving tonight. We told you that earlier. And closing in on 140 career catches as well. Here's the point after try. That kick is up and good by Woodring. And Georgia adds to the lead. It's 42-14. Dogs leading UAB. We'll give you the particulars of that scoring drive when we come back. Our second half brought to you by First Franklin Financial. Visit 1ffc.com to learn more. 5:38 to go, third quarter. Georgia 42, Blazers 14 on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Third down has not been too kind to him. 3 out of 12.
They didn't quite get a full 2 yards on that carry by Beebe. Go for it on 4th down. Zeno back to pass. Stands in the pocket, zings one to the left corner. Bounces at the 6, incomplete. Overshot his man. Farrier was the guy, the closest receiver. Georgia had it covered pretty well. Jones may have been in the area as well. Arguero and Harris defended for Georgia, and the ball goes over on downs to the Dogs as UAB is stopped at the Georgia 26-yard line. That's where the drive went to die, and we got a timeout. 12:49 to go in the game. Georgia 42, UAB 14. Our second half tonight brought to you by First Franklin Financial. Go see the friendly Franklin folks at one of their convenient Georgia locations. More Georgia football on the way right after this. Bulldogs Sports Network.
Another play call by Mike Bobo attacking the flat areas of this Blazer defense. That Paul's running away from that, able to turn around and go low to pick it up.
Savon Clark will get a carry here, and he'll carry it right into the end zone. 7-yard touchdown run, practically untouched through a gaping hole on the right side.
Boy, that's good to see. He's got so many reserves in this football game right now, and to see them celebrate their success, pretty nice. Boy, what just a complete blowing off the ball by Bobo and Lindbergh and Wilson.
And the senior from Dawsonville, Georgia, gets the touchdown on the 7-yard run. It's brought to you by Engineered Solutions of Georgia, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. And here's Woodring for the point after try. Out of the hold of Carson Beck and the snap of William Moat. There's the snap. The placement is good. The kick is high in the air and up through the top of the pipes. That's good, and it's 49-14. It's all Dogs here in the second half. We've got a time at Sanford Stadium, fourth quarter. Our second half is brought to you by First Franklin Financial. Visit 1ffc.com to learn more. 9:05 to go. Come on back for the finish here on the Bulldog Sports Network. A little bit farther up the way at the 3-yard line, so it wasn't as close as I thought initially. It's third down there.
Yeah, his momentum just carried him out of bounds.
Snap it back to Zeno. Play fake. He keeps it. The big guy drives on an angle right. He's going to bust his way into the end zone for the touchdown. He was hit right at the goal line by Harris and Thomas, and they're talking about it afterward. Who were you supposed to have, I think, is the conversation maybe, and the end result is Zeno's in for a rushing touchdown and UAB on the board again.
Yeah, no quitting this UAB team. Very solid drive there, and
yeah, a nice long 3-yard touchdown run, a nice long drive by UAB. As you say, no quit, and they put 7 more on the board, and it's now 49-21 as they drive the 75 yards against Georgia's backup defense. Timeout with 6:08 to go in the game. Georgia 49, UAB 21. Our second half tonight brought to you by First Franklin Financial, serving our neighbors since 1941. Clark got 16 on that carry. Bring a man in motion to the near side. Stockton claps his hands. Play fake. Rolls to the right. Looking downfield. Throws. Oh, it's picked off at the 46. UAB with a football. Returned to the Georgia 40 near sideline 30 and pushed out of bounds by one of our linemen, Lindbergh. Chad Lindbergh got a hand and just shoved him into the boundary. But the Dogs turn it over for the third time tonight. Zeed Haynes was the target, but it was Ricky Lee, a cornerback, that stepped right in front. The freshman for UAB returned it from about their 45 down to the Georgia 22, and they've got the ball back with 4:53 to go in a 49-21 game.
A little bit of a force there by Gunnar Stockton. Then Zeed Haynes didn't come back to the football, so it didn't help him out at all either at the top of that route.
Meriwether and Tharp's scoreboard. Ohio State defeats Notre Dame at the last second, 16-14. They punch it in the end zone for the win in South Bend. Dogs up to the line at their own 49-yard line. Moving to our right to close it out. Hand off to Savon Clark. And he got away from one tackler, but 3 or 4 other white shirts surrounded him at the 50 and get him down. And that should do it as Myquan Meriwether from Columbus, Georgia, makes the final tackle of the night for UAB. So both teams empty onto the field, and Georgia will continue all of its winning streaks, and we'll start the season 4-0 and get ready to head to Auburn now. Your final tonight, Georgia 49 and UAB 21, as the Bulldogs have now won 21 straight games, 37 of our last 38, 22 consecutive games at home, 31 in a row in the regular season, and that's 20 straight against a non-conference opponent. We'll take that streak and all the rest of them to Auburn, Alabama next week for a 3:30 Eastern Time contest against the Auburn Tigers. Dogs roll up 581 yards of offense tonight, put 49 points on the board, and beat UAB 49-21. Stay tuned for our post-game coverage. That is coming up next, right here on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.